Hey, this is Chris from Dishmaster. Today I'm taking you through a few steps to clean and or replace components inside of your handle and wand assembly. The parts we're going to cover today are the P0304 spray disc, K0264 needle valve repair kit, a K0292 Venturi assembly, and a K1233 spray tube assembly. All of those are available for order at dishmasterfaucet.com, or you can call us at 800-521-9234. You do not have to turn off the water supply for any of these repairs in this video. Just remember to not divert the water to your wand while you're doing this work. I recommend you plug your drains so that you don't lose any small parts down the sink if you do drop something. You may need a rag, pliers, a flat tip screwdriver, a utility knife, and silicone plumber's grease for these repairs. If you're working on this, you're probably having one of several different problems. First one might be that your Dishmaster is back flushing itself without you intentionally covering the face of the wand and pressing the red button. That means water's flowing backwards through the system into your tank. 2, you're not getting any soap out of the wand when you press the red button. Or 3, you're getting soap all the time even when you don't press the red button. In any of those cases, we always suggest you try to back flush the system first, which you can see in other videos we've posted. If that doesn't work, move on with what we're doing here to clear up what is probably a clog somewhere in the handle or wand in your hose. If your Dishmaster is back flushing itself, like I said, which means water's running backwards into the tank, we're going to try cleaning the spray disc on the end of your wand before anything else. If the holes in that spray disc are clogged up, it can build up enough back pressure to cause this problem. To remove your spray disc, just rotate the brush counterclockwise like you would when you're going to remove it, and then keep turning that to unscrew the brush adapter. So once all that's off of there, you're going to have the brush adapter, and the spray disc. Clean both sides of the spray disc. Make sure all of those mini holes are clear. You might have to use a toothpick or a paper clip or something like that, and make sure that the face of the wand and the hole where the water comes out are clear. Once you've got everything cleaned up, you can put that back in place. The ridged side of the spray disc, which also has the word "in" molded on it, is the side that's going to go against the face of the wand. So once that's on there, you can just tighten the brush adapter back in place. Once you've got it snug, use the brush to tighten it the rest of the way. Turn it clockwise to tighten it back up. And that should hopefully take care of the problem with your auto back flushing. If that didn't do the trick, or if you've got one of the other detergent flow problems that I mentioned at the beginning, then we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the handle on your Dishmaster hose. So we're going to start by unscrewing the nut at the base of the wand. If you can't get it loose with your hands, just pad some pliers with a rag so you don't damage it when you loosen it. Once it's loose, remove that wand assembly and place it aside. Then you can slide the handle down the hose. Be careful to catch the red button if or when it falls out of there. Set it aside so that you don't lose it. By far the easiest way to do this repair to clean the Venturi is to simply replace the Venturi, okay? You can do that by using a utility knife to move down below the Venturi about 3/4 of an inch or an inch and simply cut off the hose at that point. That's not so much that you're going to notice that your hose is that much shorter, okay? Once that's done, you can set that aside. Use a little bit of silicone plumber's grease to lubricate the barbed ends on the new Venturi assembly that you got in your K0292 repair kit. And once those are lubricated, you're just going to press them into place and replace the Venturi assembly onto the end of your hose. Push that all the way on until the hose reaches the shoulder of the Venturi assembly. Again, like I said, that is by far the easiest way to do this repair and deal with a clogged Venturi. That's because you've paid me to deal with the headache of messing with a little spring here that tries to get away from you when you're doing this repair. If instead you want to try to clear that out or replace some of those components, we're going to use a flat tip screwdriver and use the corner of it to push down on this spring. And when you do that, Once you've got that pushed down, then you're going to spread out the ends of this brass yoke that's wrapped around the Venturi to release that spring. Set that spring aside and then spread the yoke out just a little bit more so that you can pull it off of the Venturi. That should bring with it the needle valve and needle valve tip. So the first thing to clean is that needle valve tip. Make sure it doesn't have anything built up on it. Just you don't see any debris or built up detergent or something like that that came through the line. And then you're going to turn this over and you're going to clean the cavity that came out of. You might need to use a cotton swab or maybe toothpick or a paper clip, because along with cleaning that cavity, you're going to clean out that small hole in the very bottom of it, and then another small hole in the side. That is where all of your detergent flows through to get into the end of your wand. Once all of that is clean, then we're going to replace components. Use just a little bit of your silicone grease to lubricate the needle valve tip. Place that back into the yoke. And then when you replace this on the Venturi, we want the closed side of the yoke there to go towards the little tab sticking up on the Venturi. So put that back in place and the needle valve down into its cavity. When you turn it over, you're going to set the spring into this shallow depression on the other side, and you might have to pinch the yoke just a little bit to hold that spring in place. And then again, use your screwdriver to push the spring down, and while you're pushing it down, pinch the yoke back into place so that the hooks on the end of it go into the spring. Make sure they're both in place. You should be able to push down on the spring side and see the needle valve move out a bit. Once that's done, everything should be cleaned out there or replaced, whatever you did, to let soap flow through properly, or you've gotten out of place whatever was holding that needle valve open. Before you replace the wand onto the end, I suggest just cleaning up the bushing on the wand. You can move the nut up out of the way. That will expose this rubber bushing that does the sealing. Take that off, clean it up with a rag, and then again a little bit of lubrication. A little goes a long way on that. Do all of the surfaces inside and out, and then once you've got that clean and lubricated, slide it back onto the wand and up a little ways into the nut. And then once you've got those together, just push that nut and bushing down to the end of the wand. Turn your handle over and replace the red button. Gravity should help you do the trick of holding that red button in place. And then slide the handle back up over the Venturi. The red button should be against the spring side of the Venturi. And then put your wand in place and tighten the nut, just hand tight, and rotate the wand to whatever position you like in relationship to the red button. And then just to finish tightening that down, use again pliers padded with a rag so that you don't damage anything. Now you've got everything back together, cleaned up, and hopefully your soap is flowing properly again. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or need further help, visit dishmasterfaucet.com. Email us at sales@dishmasterfaucet.com. Call 800-521-9234, or you can send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram.